Hi, I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation, and welcome back to the Hive. In this video, we'll be taking a look at this Nanoleaf 4D screen mirror and light strip kit. We've had it for a couple of weeks, so we're doing this a little bit differently, and I'll be interested to see if you like this format. We're going to take a look at the box, we'll take a look at what comes in the box, we'll get it set up, and we'll talk a little bit about why we might choose this setup over the previously reviewed DIY method using Hyperion. And in a future video, we'll talk about setting up the Nanoleaf 4D light strip in Home Assistant. And at the same time, we might even do a side-by-side comparison with Hyperion as well. So while I roll the intro, why don't you take a moment to subscribe? And if you hit the bell icon, you'll also get notified when I release new videos each week. While you're at it, if you like what I do here and you want to support the channel, there's affiliate links to smart home gadgets that you can buy for your own smart home and support the channel at the same time, including the Nanoleaf 4D strip. Or you can support the channel directly through my Buy Me a Coffee link. Of course, those affiliate links and my Buy Me a Coffee link can all be found on my website, hivemindautomation.com.au. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. So a couple of weeks ago, my partner and I decided that we were going to mount the bedroom TV to the wall. Partly because it was taking up all of the space on our dresser, but also because, as you may have seen in some previous videos, we have a cheeky cat that likes to jump up on the dresser and wander around both in front of and behind the TV. I don't love the idea of the cat being behind the TV with a mess of cables to chew on, or potentially knocking the TV off the dresser. And when she's in front of the TV, there's a defined cat-shaped shadow on all of our content. We also took it as an opportunity while mounting the TV to review the bias lighting that we already have on the TV. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you might have seen my previous video on Hyperion, where we added LED strips and set up some software on a Raspberry Pi to add some bias lighting to the TV to expand the canvas of the TV by projecting light onto the wall behind the TV in the same colors as the on-screen image. It's really great for watching colorful movies or lightsaber duels, those kinds of things. And it just really adds to the immersion of the film. Now, in that video, we used an HDMI capture card to read what was on screen and then code the LED colors. The problem with that method is that it really only works for one HDMI input. So unless you're using something like an HDMI switching receiver as part of a wider home theater setup, you're going to have not a great time. And because it's HDMI, it's never going to work with any of the apps that are built into modern smart TVs. Most streaming services have an app on most smart TVs these days, so it would be a shame if you couldn't Netflix and chill with some nice bias lighting without having to use a separate set-top box. We did look at a couple of out-of-the-box solutions, including the Govee TV strip, which has some similar features to this, but we ended up choosing the Nanoleaf 4D kit because of its native HomeKit compatibility and the integration with our other Nanoleaf gadgets that we already have in this home. This Nanoleaf 4D screen mirror and light strip kit does cost $169 from JB Hi-Fi for the 65-inch version, or there is an 85-inch version for $229 from JB Hi-Fi here. Now, instead of using an HDMI capture card, the Nanoleaf 4D light strip kits do make use of a camera that can mount either to the top or the bottom of the TV. The little controller unit here then processes the image from the camera, and the LEDs then react to the on-screen image, regardless of its source. Like with Hyperion, it can operate as a normal LED strip to add ambient lighting to the room as well. So let's talk prerequisites. And there's really not a lot that you are going to need for the Nanoleaf 4D setup, but you are going to want to have the Nanoleaf app on your smartphone, similar to something like the Nanoleaf hexagons. We would connect this to the Wi-Fi network. You do need your Wi-Fi details. Now, I did have a quick look at my Unify console, and I saw that this is connected over 2.4 gigahertz, but it is connected on a dual band network, and it seems to be operating perfectly fine on that dual band network. So your mileage, however, may vary based on your network setup. Now, it is also worth mentioning as well that these are a native Apple HomeKit device, which means that when you're setting them up, Apple HomeKit, it will automatically connect to your Wi-Fi network anyway. Another prerequisite, of course, is you're going to want some kind of TV or display, maybe your gaming setup, to hook it up to as well. But hopefully that's fairly obvious. It is important when selecting between the two different kits that you choose appropriately for the size of the display that you want to set up, mostly because of the length of the included LED strip, but more because the longer kit is undoubtedly going to draw more power. So presumably it's going to ship with a higher rated power supply. Now, as I mentioned, we've had these set up for a while, but I am going to take a real quick look around the outside of the box, and then we'll take a look at how the unboxing went and the setup process. So we're doing the unboxing a little differently than normal. I hope you like it because we may do this in a similar method in the future. So around the outside of the box, on the front here, we have for TVs and monitors up to 65 inches, the Nanoleaf branding, serving suggestion there, ultra vivid screen mirroring, trimmable RGB gradient light strip, and a privacy cover. So we'll see that a little bit later when we do the unboxing. Nanoleaf 4D screen mirror and light strip kit works with Apple Home. On this edge of the box here, if I can get it into frame, we got Nanoleaf branding there, Nanoleaf 4D screen mirror and light strip kit. For TVs up to 65 inches and another serving suggestion there. And the way they've kind of made this composition here, it kind of makes it look like almost like a 3D movie. It's a little bit like that. It does tend to make the on-screen images a little bit more immersive when you're watching with the reactive bias lighting. On the back, two more serving suggestions, including that gaming setup that I mentioned before, and fill your space with the colors from your screen for ultra immersive movies and gaming. We've got 4 mirror modes, Sync Plus technology, so we can extend lighting across other synced Nanoleaf RGB lights within your 3D space for enhanced immersion. So in our case, we could perhaps add our Nanoleaf hexagons around the TV, for example, and then extend the colors to those. Trimmable with smart mapping, so it says cut your light script to suit your screen size. Smart mapping automatically adjusts lighting effects to the new length. Privacy cover, a magnetic cover blocks your 4D camera when not in use for added peace of mind. We've got the same things here mentioned in French as well. Color and rhythm scenes create dynamic lighting effects, including sound reactive animations to illuminate your room even when the screen is off. So that's what I was mentioning there about it being a regular light strip as well. We've got what's in the box here: camera, mount, privacy cover, light strip, controller, corner brackets, and power supply, and then listed again there in French. And there's some more descriptions here in different languages here as well. And over here, just a bit of small print around using the Works with Apple Home badge and other mentions about things like Apple TV, other trademark and copyright holders that are mentioned in the materials here, and the manufacturer's details in their different locations as well. So Canada, Europe, another Europe, and Hong Kong there. And on this edge here, we've got Take Your Entertainment Be on the screen. We've got the Nanoleaf app icon. Download it on the Apple App Store or on Google Play. And again, we've got works with Google Home, works with Apple Home, works with Amazon Alexa, works with SmartThings, and works with IFT as well. This side of the box is just blank, but this side of the box has some compliance information. There's some specs in here. Hard to see what's behind this security tab. I think this is to do with disposals, so don't throw it in the bin. There's a model number, an input of 100 to 240 volts at 50 or 60 hertz. Color channels are RGB and it's made in China. Rated power is 24 watts and the camera input is 5 volts at 0.1 amp and it's got a dimming range of 1 to 100%. So there's not a whole lot else to really talk about on the outside of the box. So we'll get into the unboxing now. And as I mentioned, we're doing the unboxing a little bit differently this time. In the box, you've got a roll of LED strips. There's a little mount that can hang either over the top of the screen or be a stand at the bottom of the screen looking up at this screen. There's the camera with this little magnetic privacy cover we mentioned before, and that can mount on the back of the camera for storage. We have the power supply, we have the control unit, there's 4 corner mold pieces, and we'll discuss those a little bit in a second. We have a quick start guide, and there's a bunch of sticky strips to help you attach various parts of the setup to the back of your TV. Installation is pretty easy, although it might be easier to do this with the TV off the wall mount. As you can see here, we didn't do that though. You want to start by cleaning the surfaces of the TV where you want to stick the LED strip thoroughly. It's probably good to do this with a cloth that's lightly dampened with some soapy water, and then follow up with some isopropyl alcohol to then remove any leftover residue. When everything's clean, you can install the 4 corner molds in the 4 corners of the back of the TV. And these are going to help you mold the LED strip around the 90-degree corners without damaging the LED strip or having to mess around by cutting and then rejoining the corners. With the corner brackets installed, you can then start installing the LED strips. Our TV here has a couple of steps on the back panel, which kind of made this process a little bit annoying. But if you take your time and press firmly, you should be okay. Now, you may need to trim some excess strip, making sure to cut at one of the marked points. And we'll take a closer look at where those marked points are a little bit later on. Once you've got the LED strip installed, you can then install the capture camera in its little holder, and it can hang from the top of the TV in the center so it can see the screen, or can sit on a surface at the bottom of the center of the screen. As I mentioned in the preface, this is probably not ideal if you have a cheeky cat. We can then grab our controller, plug in the power, the USB Type-C that goes to the LED strip, and I'll talk a bit more about that when we look at the hardware. And there's a USB Type-A port for the camera. It's worth mentioning that the controller has some buttons on it to either go into TV reactive mode, music reactive mode, or change the scene, and also a power button there. You can either tuck the controller just behind the TV like we did, or maybe you want to grab some of the double stick tape and mount it somewhere so that you can reach those buttons and trigger them as needed. So for the initial setup and pairing, I'm actually going to reset the setup that we've got on the TV here and do it again so you can see how the process works, including the calibration. Now I'll be setting up my setup using HomeKit, but you'll also need the Nanoleaf app, and from there you'll be able to expose this device to any of the other cloud services mentioned, so Amazon, Google, Samsung, or IFT. All right, so I think we've got the LED strip reset. I'm just going to press and hold these buttons again for a bit just to see if we can get them to reset again. Okay, so it looks like we got the controller to reset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Apple Home. I'll tap the plus button in the top right-hand corner and then tap Add Accessory. And I just want to scan the HomeKit QR code on the back here. And we've got light, and I'll tap add to home, and it's setting up. This may take a few minutes. Okay, so we just got a flash on the LEDs there, which kind of suggests that it's managed to connect to something. Okay, and we're being asked to select a light location. So I'll grab the bedroom and tap continue. Nanoleaf 4D, I'm going to just call this TV strip and continue. We've got some light automations, so we can by default set it to turn on when the first person arrives home or turn off when the last person leaves. I won't turn on any of those, I'll just tap continue. Now we've got light added to the hive, so I'll go done. And so now we see 4D390A is at 42% in Apple Home. If I go into accessory settings, we can see the details in there. We can group it with other accessories. We can add automations. There's some suggested scenes in there, including a good night turn off. So I will add that in there as well. There we go. We can see we've got our manufacturer, our serial number, our model number, and our firmware details there. And there's a button to remove the accessory. If I go into the controls, I'll just tap it. I can go into the controls and I can turn the brightness up. We can select a color. So we can go for this really kind of orangey white or more of a warm white. Or we can go to red, or we can just grab a color palette here and just grab any color we like from this color wheel. Or there's a temperature, so we can go from a really warm white to a super cold white there. Or there's color swatches, so we can then just select a color from the color swatches there. And the brightness and the cog in the bottom right takes us back to the settings. Back in the settings here in the manufacturer section, we see that we have Nanoleaf and we've got the Nanoleaf app installed, and I can tap open on there. If we didn't have the Nanoleaf app installed, it would give us the option to install it from the App Store. It's asking us to update a firmware, and I'll tap on that. It looks like it's the TV strip that needs an update of the firmware from 9.2.3 to 9.2.4. I'll tap that and just get this device updated before we go any further, so that we are talking about the features as it stands right now, the latest firmware. Okay, so the LEDs just flashed off. We've still got updating showing on the phone, and we just got the white LED chase around the TV, suggesting that it is finished the update. And we're back to the red there, which was the last thing we had set. Okay, so with the firmware updated, we now need to go ahead and set up the LED strip. Now, to configure this properly, we absolutely do need to be using the Nanoleaf app. You don't necessarily need the Nanoleaf app to pair the device to your network, but you absolutely do need it to make sure that you're setting up screen mirroring properly. Now, you see right at the bottom, we've got screen mirror is not configured. I'm going to tap setup on that there. We've got a video that says Nanoleaf 4D tips and tricks. It says, prior to calibration, here are some great and effective setup tips, tricks, and hacks to get the most out of your 4D experience. I'm just going to tap continue. And now we need to select whether or not the camera is above or below the TV. In my case, you can see here we have it above the TV, and I'll tap next. Now we need to calibrate the corners. So I'm going to tap the top left corner, and now I can grab this dial and we can kind of move the corner around, and you'll see the green LEDs flashing there. And we just need to get it onto the corner. Now, I will say this is where the groups of 3 LEDs may be letting us down a little bit, because we can't always get it super accurate. So I've set the top left, and now it's asking us to do a screen calibration. So I'm going to turn the TV on for the screen calibration. So I just have this green screen image showing up. I'll just go, I'll go exit. I'm going to refresh this so that I've got everything, and now I'm going to go into full screen, and I'm going to have to rotate this so that we can actually see it. And now I can just kind of move these anchor points to the corners of the screen. Now, you can kind of tell that because of the extreme fisheye on the lens of this camera, that we're probably going to miss out on some details, but again, I don't think it's really going to have that much impact. I'll tap confirm on that now that we've tuned those edges. And so now we can turn mirror mode off. I can go to 1D. Now what 1D does is it's sound active, so it will react to the sound coming from the television. And you can kind of see that pulsing as I talk. So it's just a microphone built into the control board, and that is just kind of adjusting the brightness based on the volume that's hitting that microphone. And it's just a white background, so that can actually be quite nice just to kind of give the television a little bit of extra dynamics. If I hit 2D mode, you'll see that now it's a little bit more in tune with the color on screen. So it's got the green, and it is sound reacting to the microphone, my voice there. If I go 3D, now it's being a little bit different. So again, it's audio reactive, and it is tuned to the color that's on screen, and it's just kind of projecting that on the background there. And if I go to 4D, it's supposed to be doing something a bit more. So like 2D is a little bit more washed out in terms of the color that it projects onto the wall. 3D is a little bit different, so slightly less washed out, and 4D is a much richer and fuller and almost an exact representation, but it's still sound reactive. What we can do is turn this rhythm switch off, and it's just going to react to what's on screen. It's not going to worry about any of the audio at all. So with that rhythm switch off, 1D, we've just got this kind of white color. 2D, it's a kind of washed out green. I'll be interested to see. I'll back out of here and back out again. We'll just make sure, yeah, so it is reacting to what's on screen, but it's kind of very washed out. It's not reproducing a lot of the color, it's just kind of grabbing a dominant color that it can see on screen. If I go to 3D, so you can see it's a little bit more reactive. If I open up, I'll just go back into the YouTube app. So you can see that rather than it grabbing the dominant color from the screen, it's a little bit closer to what's on screen, but not quite there. And it's kind of pulsating a little bit as well. 4D should be a much more accurate representation of what the camera is seeing. And so like moving through the menus, you'll see that the LEDs do display very differently based on the different menus that we're in and the colors that it is detecting. So like you can see that we've got the different icons reflected down the bottom there pretty well. So something else to mention here is that we have at the bottom, we've got 3 different vibrancy settings. We've got cinematic, we've got vivid, which that changed. Hard to tell if that was visible on camera, but between cinematic and vivid, vivid is a much kind of more, I guess it's in the name, a vivid representation of the color that you see. And then you've got custom, so you can like push the dynamic range or the saturation or even the white balance and get some really interesting effects there. So if I were to just completely desaturate that, we'll pretty much just get white. But you know, we can do some stuff there, or we can, you know, really flatten the dynamic range there as well to get some different effects. I tend to like it in Vivid. I think that's the best kind of representation there. So the other thing I just want to mention here is this Sync Plus function. So with Sync Plus in here, you can add other devices into the synchronization. So for example, the Nanoleaf hexagons that we've reviewed in the past, I could put those up and around the television here and have those also kind of reflect what's being shown on the TV and react to the TV. With the Nanoleaf hexagons as well, because they are touch sensitive, we could use them to also control different scenes within the Nanoleaf 4D here. I'm just going to discard that setup because I don't have the hexagons set up right now, but just know that it is an option. So that's just the 4D settings. We can go to basic settings in here as well, and we can go back through the same stuff that we saw in Apple HomeKit. And there's also some scenes, some built-in scenes. So there's things like Beat Crusher, and that's just going to react to audio. We've got a daylight scene, which it's just kind of giving you a daylight white color. We've got a film noir scene. So that is just kind of a gentle kind of, it is a dynamic background. It's just kind of moving slightly. Not sure if you can see that on screen. Something called Headshot, which seems to be just kind of cycling through some different colors, and it is sound reactive. We've got a lo-fi chill. We've got a reading light, which a reading light's kind of this nice warm white that you can see here. And then there's an even warmer white. We can create our own scenes if we wanted to, or we can tap Magic Scene. Magic Scene appears to be crashing my app, so I'm not sure if that's because I'm screen recording or not. But just be aware that that Magic Scene may or may not work for you. So that's a little bit worrisome. But we've got all of the same controls that we had in Apple Home from here in the basic settings. The scene settings are a bit different. In Apple Home, if we go back out here, we'll see those scene settings are showing up in our scenes in Apple HomeKit. So we've got all of those things here, like Rainbow Wheel, for example. That's the scene that is inside Apple Home. So Rainbow Wheel is the same inside the Nanoleaf app as it is inside Apple Home. So the last thing we'll take a look at in the top right hand corner, I'll tap on the settings there, and we can see we've got our screen mirror calibration there. So we can go through that calibration again, or we've got devices and position, and that's that Sync Plus devices that we discussed before. And then we've got all of our system details. So we've got the device name, Bedroom TV Strip, and we can rename that if we want. The default name is 4D390A. The serial number, the model number, the firmware version, the hardware version, the connection type, and whether it's on a thread network, and it's unknown because I don't believe that these actually do connect over thread. There's a big green identify button, so if I tap that, it's going to flash the LED strip to identify it, and a big red delete button. But that is essentially the app, so and the setup there. So it is pretty straightforward to set up. Understanding the mirror modes is fairly important. 4D is generally the only mirror mode that I use. I think that it is probably the best. I will just grab, I'll just grab a YouTube video here. So I'll just grab this Ambilight color test from Dave Madison. All right, so we've got our Ambilight color test. Now it's doing two colors, and you can see that it's trying to mirror those two colors on the relevant sides of the TV. So now we've got all colors, and you can really see how dynamic it is. I'll just grab this abstract liquids demo. This is something that you'll quite often see when you go into a retailer. There'll be displaying something like this on their TVs. And I feel like this is a good demo for these kinds of LEDs, because you've got these really vibrant colors showing up on the screen and kind of mixing, especially in this kind of thing where you've got multiple liquid colors. So rather than blacking out where there is no color, it seems to be just kind of lagging behind and leaving the last scene color there. I guess that's okay. I would probably prefer it to actually black the color out. That could be just a calibration setting. I'll have to investigate that off camera, I think. So you get the idea. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to turn the TV off, and we've just got this kind of color here. This is supposed to be in 4D mode. So look, I think maybe it's reacting to some of the room light as well, possibly reflecting off the TV. What I might do, though, is just to kind of demonstrate that it can be kind of a nice ambient light as well. So just by putting it into one of the scenes, so we've got the rainbow wheel there, it can be nice for an ambient light, whether you're having a party and you just want to kind of add some accent lighting, or whatever the case may be for your particular use case. You can have this as a nice ambient light, and it will do a great job at just casting some really nice colored light into the room. It is probably worth mentioning, though, that it is going to work best against a white or fairly neutral wall. You probably wouldn't be able to use this on anything other than a kind of white-based color. So white, beige, a very light neutral tone. With anything other than that is probably going to really kind of not have that much effect. So certainly worth bearing that in mind if you are looking to set up something like this. So before we get to the summary, I do want to take a very quick look at some of the hardware. So what I've done over here on the B camera, I've grabbed the control box, and we've also got an offcut of the LED strip to take a look at. Now, if we look closely at the LED strip here, we can see here that the LEDs are in groups of 3 with cut points in between those groups, and there's a little driver chip here in each of those groups of 3. I've not been able to make out exactly what is on the driver chip there, so hard to really tell exactly what that is, but based on the fact that it has just these 3 conductors here, and I know also that it is only an RGB LED, I have a feeling that these might be something like WS2812 drivers on these RGB LEDs here. It's worth mentioning as well, the quality of this LED strip is really good. It's in this nice plastic protective sheath here, which is really nice to see. And it also has high quality 3M VHB tape on the back. So that is going to stick really, really well to the back of your TV, and it'll be actually difficult to get that off. VHB tape is notoriously difficult to unstick when it's stuck down properly. Being that I have a feeling these are a WS2812 driver or something similar, it may not be 2812s, but it'll certainly be something similar. It'll be interesting at some point to try wiring this offcut up to WLED and seeing if we can actually get light out of it. Now, for the control box itself, I really wanted to firstly illustrate that we do have these buttons, and the buttons feel nice and tactile. There's also our HomeKit pairing code and some other info here, like model number. The input power is 12 volts at 2 amps, and we're looking at 24 watts. So with the input power being 12 volts at 2 amps, I'm guessing that 12 volts is what the power to this LED strip is going to require as well. So that's helpful information. But I wanted to take a look specifically at the ports on here. I mentioned before we've got our power and we've got our USB type A port. The camera connects to the USB type A port, but interestingly, we've got USB type C here that connects to the LED strip. Now, I didn't notice anything particularly special on the LED strip to negotiate power delivery or anything like that. And as I mentioned, being that there's only 3 conductors on the LED strip itself, I think it's safe to say that you shouldn't try to charge your phone from this USB Type-C port. I might take a look at testing the output from here, but I'm not going to do that in this video just because it's already probably getting long enough. So that's the Nanoleaf 4D screen mirror and light strip kit. It includes everything you need to get set up with reactive bias lighting, and it's not reliant on an HDMI capture card. So switching between inputs like broadcast TV, built-in smart TV apps, gaming consoles, etc. isn't a problem. And it doesn't require an external HDMI switcher, and you're not going to run into any HDCP errors. That's copy prevention with the HDMI signal. Being that this is a camera-based system though, there is obviously a moment of contemplation with it being installed in our bedroom. Thankfully, it does come with the magnetic privacy cover that you can just pop on when you're not using the LED strip in a reactive mode. Something that I have noticed with the Nanoleaf 4D system is that the camera capture doesn't seem to reject any black bars when you are watching content that's not in the same aspect ratio as your TV. There are some ways around this by adjusting the camera capture space in the app, but this is obviously not ideal to have to do if you're frequently watching different content in different aspect ratios on your TV. The LED strips themselves are really great quality and have a really nice bright output, and the build quality of the overall unit is fantastic. I will say though that looking at the LED strips, they are pretty low density. And from what I can see here, it seems like they're around about 30 LEDs per meter. The other disappointment here is that they are grouped in batches of 3 instead of each individual pixel on the strip being addressable. The low density and the groups of 3 does mean that in most applications, there will be at least a slight overlap or gap where the strip starts and ends. And if you don't properly account for that when you're sticking them to the back of the TV, that could lead to some problems. That said, an overlap does get calibrated out during the calibration process, so it will be barely noticeable in the final result. It might just be a slight hotspot or bright spot on the backlighting. But a gap can't be calibrated out, so you're going to be better off with an overlap than a gap. It is something to keep in mind if you're looking at getting something like this. Do let me know in the comments section below if you liked this slightly different format of unboxing and review video, and also let me know your thoughts on TV bias lighting with the Nanoleaf 4D LED strip. In a future video, I'm going to take a look at integrating this Nanoleaf device with Home Assistant, and I'll also look at running a side-by-side comparison with Hyperion in that video as well, and we'll maybe compare the functionality between the native Nanoleaf app, the HomeKit app, and the Home Assistant app as well. That is all we have for this video, and I do hope that it's helped you in your smart home journey. Be sure to drop a comment down below with a home automation idea that you'd like to see me cover in a future video. And don't forget to follow HiveMind Automation on Instagram and Facebook. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button down below to give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider changing that now. While you're at it, if you hit the bell icon, you'll get a notification when I release new videos, and that's normally each week. Lastly, if you enjoy what I do here and you want help to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. any contribution you make through Buy Me a Coffee does get put towards making more and hopefully better content for you to enjoy. Don't forget to check out my website, hivemindautomation.com.au. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Stu from Hivemind Automation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.